finally did it. To all of you who watched the Flashcast last year, we launched an entire show based on the Flashcast that you watched last year. Wow, that was a poor start to a new show, but with that said, welcome to the first ever edition of Trending Now. I'm Haley Sawyer.
And I'm Kendall Vallon. We're here to give you the news that you would actually care about.
Pop culture, human interest, hard news, entertainment, food, every topic that would have RMU students talking.
Any topic that would also have social media talking. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, even Pinterest is where we'll pull inspiration from.
It's a whole lot of inspiration, or pinspiration as they say. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into the first story.
And there's a story circulating on the internet about a nun in Italy who gave birth to a baby boy. She claims she did not know she was pregnant. She claimed she felt stomach cramps while in convent and then was taken to the hospital later that day. The baby was reportedly born last Wednesday. The nun's name is not being released, but it is being reported that her baby was named Francesco after the current pope.
And little Francesco was born in Rieti Hospital, where other new mothers are currently collecting clothing and other donations for the nun mother. The nun is part of the Little Disciples of Jesus, which is in Campomoro near Rieti. Local pastor Don Fabrizio Borello said, quote, "I guess she's telling the truth when she says she arrived at the hospital unaware of the pregnancy." And he also told the media that she plans to take care of her son Francesco, which is sweet. But that quote's shady.
It's very
I gotta
shady.
say.
Baby daddy?
Who knows? Hey, there's a scandal in the convent.
Well, anyway, let's move on to Jimmy Fallon. He's taking over as host for tonight. After moving the show from the West Coast to the East Coast, NBC surprised the nation once again with two superstars, as the show's first guests are Will Smith and U2. They will be both making appearances.
And Fallon has also been talking with the former host Jay Leno to figure out what he needs to do to improve the show. One thing listed by Leno was for Fallon to increase his monologue. So my conclusion is that the show will have a lot of talking, especially in the beginning from Fallon, and some pretty cool guests, because, I mean, Will Smith, you too. How much better can you get? And tonight is going to first air on February 17th at midnight, right after the Winter Olympics. And after that, the show will change times and be shown after the local news from then on.
Well, I can't wait to look forward to that.
I'm gonna watch. I love you too. I love Bono.
I love Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, and Will Smith, everybody.
So on to HIV, because that's just how this show works. We are very random, but a guy who used to go to Lindenwood, Michael Johnson, has HIV. This isn't bad, but the fact that he exposed himself to multiple sexual partners to the disease is. What's even worse is that he filmed it. Another terrible fact of the story is that he goes by the name of, wait for it, Tiger Mandingo? Yes. And a month after having sex with Johnson, in his dorm room, a man went to the police and claimed that he was diagnosed with HIV and gonorrhea. And after some investigation, Johnson was arrested on October 10th.
Tiger Mandingo. And it's on record that Johnson, or shall we say Tiger, had unprotected sex, told his partners he had no diseases, the whole 9 yards. You get the point. Over 30 people might have been exposed to the disease, and over 24 tapes were found on his laptop computer. He found his partners using 3 Facebook pages, 2 Twitter feeds, a Vine account, and an Instagram. These partners had no idea that Johnson had the disease or that they were being filmed. Police are still trying to figure out all of the victims.
And CBS has confirmed that the legendary Beyoncé will be performing at this year's Grammy Awards. They've also confirmed that Jay-Z will be performing, but will the super cute couple be performing together? Please say so. The commercial release listing the performers at this year's award show gave the two a performance, but never exactly said they would be together. So we can only hope.
I'm hoping really hard. And among the other artists set to hit the stage are John Legend, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, Casey Musgraves, Taylor Swift, Keith Urban, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, Daft Punk, Pharrell Williams, Stevie Wonder, Kendrick Lamar, Imagine Dragons, Lorde, Metallica, Katy Perry, Pink, and Robin Thicke. That's a lot of acts to get excited about, but if Bey and Jay can team up, I think they have a pretty good shot at stealing the show. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see when Music's Biggest Night airs on Sunday, January 26th.
Yeah, and that's a huge lineup right there.
That
I'm
is.
Like, IMDb.
How long are the Grammys? Like, because there's a million acts, but I'm excited for all of them.
Yeah.
Especially Beyonce. I gotta love Beyonce.
Blue Ivy, right?
Hey, maybe Blue Ivy will be there. That's just pretty cool.
Throw her out in the audience.
Why not? Why not?
So, on to our next story. Freshman year of college is often filled with surprises, and for college freshmen Michaela Sternilis and Emily Nappy, the surprise of their life was waiting just around the corner. The two girls met on Facebook doing what pretty much every college freshman was doing at that time, you know, looking for a roommate. But then,
though they didn't end up living together, they became best friends with a lot of common interests. Shopping, the fact they were both from California, and the shock of their lives, they both have the same father. It took some investigating, but the two girls soon realized that they were conceived by the same sperm donor. The girls were surprised as well as excited, and both of them are proud to call each other sister. What a happy ending.
Sister, sister. Just been waiting to say that. Well, we hope that we keep our promise and you actually cared about the news that we talked about today. And after the break, we'll be taking a look back on what happened last semester and last year, as well as some of our personal favorites of 2013. Stay tuned.
Well, my favorite shows are like Modern Family and Friends, so I guess more of like comedy. I like that, and like relationships, like the dynamics of groups.
It varies. I'm a big fan of Duck Dynasty, which is a reality show.
I like shows that, for instance, like Lost. I like shows that build on the previous week. I don't like standalone shows. I mean, House is a good show and it's done, but it's like standalone. The characters are just, you know, ongoing, but each show is different, so I don't really like that. So I would say ongoing building shows, such as Game of Thrones.
These boys are my heroes. They come every week to spend time with my children.
At Robert Morris University, every student is expected to reach out to others.
They can teach them something no one else can.
Wisconsin.
They're role models to the children, and homework comes way before sports. Their grades have improved, and their lives are just a bit richer.
Okay.
What they do for my kids is truly wonderful.
Change someone's life. It changes yours forever. Robert Morris University.
I call them my lifeline.
People don't realize how quickly you can end up on the street. One thing happens in your life, medical bills you can't pay, you lose your job, and that's it.
At Robert Morris University, every student is expected to reach out to others.
We went to DC to work with the homeless. They sell a newspaper called Street Sense. Thought I'd help.
But if you want to give more, you can.
This person came up to me and said, "Get a job." And for 2 hours, I felt what it was like to be homeless.
Good morning. $1 help on.
Some of the other students said, "How can we change this?" And I said, "Sometimes you can't change the world, but you may be able to change one person's world." My dream? Open a psych clinic for people on the street.
Change someone's life. It changes yours forever. Robert Morris University.
Welcome back. As we promised, here's a look in the great big rear view mirror that we called 2013.
And I think we can all agree that last semester and 2013 as well was a pretty important part of the world's history, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty good for me.
What was your favorite moment of 2013?
Oh my God. I don't even know. I can't even remember.
Come on.
Oh, wait. I went to Ireland. That was really cool. I went to Ireland.
Whatever.
I'm a world traveler, you know.
World traveler, you know, well.
What about you?
Well, that Kentucky game. What about that one, right?
That was everyone at RMU's favorite moment. Just so much school spirit in that night.
Throw my fists in the air, full of school spirit. Yeah, but is there any like world events, news that popped out at you?
I mean, Nelson Mandela, like on a serious note, I feel like his passing was a really big deal.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really sad, and such a great man passed away.
Yeah, he'll be remembered.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, if we think of happy things, though, I mean, I can't think of a happy thing right now, but I'm just gonna do this till I think of something. That you know, if we take a look back at our Flashcast episodes.
Yeah, there's tons of happy stuff that happened there.
But yep, so if you do want to check that out, you can go on to centurymedia.com and see.
Look in the archives.
Yeah, there we go.
Throwback Thursdays. Yeah. So,
anyway,
after the break, Eddie Sheehy will be giving us his top 13 movie picks from the past year. What will take number one on the spot? What will take the number one spot? Stay with us. But first, what was your standout moment of 2013?
I tried to do something different and I joined the rowing team, so it was new and fun experience.
There was that Kentucky game. I didn't pay attention to it, but I guess we won. I guess that was a big deal or something. Lots of people were partying. All I know is I couldn't get to sleep that night because the people above me were really, really loud.
The Pirates making the playoffs was fantastic for me.
My cousin plays for the Ravens and they won the Super Bowl, so that's pretty cool.
So to watch them get into the playoffs and experience all that, I have a new appreciation for baseball and how exciting it can be, because I always thought it was a boring sport.
We were there to bring nursing care to some desperate people.
At Robert Morris University, every student is expected to reach out to others.
The very first person that I met was David. Kept saying, "You have to come to my house and watch me play my trumpet." You could tell from the look on his face that it was just his most prized possession. I get back home. A few weeks later, I got a message that a gang had broken into his house at night and they stole it, which was his life. So next trip back, we gave him a new one. The look on his face was just complete disbelief. He just absolutely couldn't believe it. And to be able to do something like that is one of the best moments of my life. He said he'd never forget us.
Change someone's life. It changes yours forever. Robert Morris University.
These boys are my heroes. They come every week to spend time with my children.
At Robert Morris University, every student is expected to reach out to others.
They can teach them something no one else can.
Wisconsin.
They're role models to the children, and homework comes way before sports. Their grades have improved, and their lives are just a bit richer.
Okay.
What they do for my kids is truly wonderful.
Change someone's life. It changes yours forever. Robert Morris University.
I call them my lifeline.
Welcome back to Trending Now. Next up, we have our very own version of Ebert and Roeper, but possibly even better. Here's Eddie Sheehy with all the movies that made the cut for his best movies of the year list.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a little show I like to call Eddie's Corner. We call it that because it's all warm and fuzzy, like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, except I don't wear cardigans and my shoes stay on the whole time. Today, I'm going to be reviewing for you the best movies of 2013. I graded these on a scale of my own choosing and my own creation. Thumbs up. A movie can have as many thumbs up as possible. There is no limit. The more, the better, obviously. I've chose 13 movies from 2013. I'm going to highlight them for you today. Starting with number 13, we have The Great Gatsby. The Great Gatsby was a fantastic film that came out this year based off the book by the same name. Baz Luhrmann and Leonardo DiCaprio working together. It was good. It was stunningly, beautifully made. It looked nice, and it made me want to pretend I was a millionaire in the 1920s. Number 12, we have Anchorman 2. I know it probably shouldn't have ranked at all, but the fight scene at the end saved it. Without it, it's just kind of a whole bunch of sketches put together. Dobie's pretty cool too, but other than that, I give it good, solid 8 thumbs up. Number 11 is none other than World War Z. I know, calm down. World War Z on a best movies list, it deserves it. The ending was rewritten and it worked well. It was almost worth Brad Pitt selling his soul to Pepsi to get that movie out. Number 10 would be Blue Jasmine. Cate Blanchett will probably end up winning Best Actress at the Academy Awards for that. She deserves it. She played the perfect kind of crazy talking to herself on the street, and Alec Baldwin played a giant jerk, which I can't imagine is too hard of a stretch to make, seeing what he's like in real life. Number 9 was the horror film Carrie. Carrie was scary, and Julianne Moore did really good. I like her. She's pretty, but not in this film. She's actually really crazy and like stabbing herself with sharp scissors. 8 was The Hunger Games. I know a lot of people were really angry about how it ended, but I say I don't care. Jennifer Lawrence is going to be in 2 more movies. Sign me up. You could end it however you want. She's awesome. 7 would be the manliest movie to come out in 2013, without a doubt, Lone Survivor. If you didn't stand up and cheer USA, USA after watching this movie, you clearly don't love our country as much as I'd hope you do. Number 6 was Captain Phillips, another great story of America. Captain Phillips, starring Tom Hanks, was the perfect movie for anybody who wanted a heart-pounding hour and a half. It was just long enough, didn't get too preachy, and that guy who was a taxi driver, whose name I don't know how to pronounce, was really good at acting, actually. Number 5 is the animated movie Frozen. It's great. There's no denying that, but people need to stop getting so obsessed with it. The musical, the sequel, we all know they're coming. You don't have to keep telling us, and if I hear that song, Let It Go, one more time, a blood vessel in my brain's going to pop. Hannah, I am looking to you. Number 4, we have Saving Mr. Banks. I really enjoyed this movie. Growing up as a kid, Mary Poppins was one of my favorite characters. I had a huge crush on her, so it was cool to see the movie and the real-life story that kind of inspired that whole deal. So it was nice, and Tom Hanks is pretty cool as Walt Disney. The mustache is sweet. He should keep that. Number 3 is Elysium. Neil Blomkamp's second movie. It's amazing he's only made 2 movies because he's really hit him out of the park both times. Matt Damon is really cool bald. And also, if you like robots and spaceships and utopian societies that aren't really utopian, you're going to love this movie. Number 2 was Ender's Game, another sci-fi movie. Ender's Game was the largest, most expensive independent movie ever made. It kind of flopped, but I wouldn't hold it against them. Asa Butterfield, Harrison Ford, Ben Kingsley, Viola Davis. You had a superstar cast, and they really pulled through. Asa Butterfield can act his butt off for a kid who's like 10 years old. And number 1, the biggest movie of the year, for me at least, was the Leonardo DiCaprio film. See how I made that go full circle from Great Gatsby to Wolf of Wall Street? It would be Wolf of Wall Street. Martin Scorsese directed, Jonah Hill, supporting actor. It was great. It was really fun. There was a little bit of nudity in there, a little bit of drugs, but who cares? And for everybody who's so upset about it being a 3-hour movie, stop it. Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio have never made a short movie, and they never will, and there's a reason. It's because long movies are good, and it's not like it was hard to sit through. There you have it. My 13 best movies of 2013. I'm sure you all disagree at home, but that's okay. I don't care, because guess who's sitting in a chair reviewing them? Me, not you. Everybody stop by next week for Eddie's Corner, where we're surely going to have another great topic. Hannah Banana, thank you so much for writing out all of our best of the year. I'll see you next week.
Well, thank you, Eddie and Hannah Banana. I think Eddie's list is pretty good, but I didn't see any of those movies. None of them.
I saw some.
Which ones?
The Great Gatsby? Come on, Eddie.
I've never even read
that. Should be like number 2. Leonardo DiCaprio, at least
and the
pick number 1.
soundtrack.
The soundtrack gives me
Lana Del Rey,
butterflies.
Jay-Z. But Sharknado, that wasn't on the list.
Where's Sharknado, Eddie?
What?
Where's Sharknado?
Yeah, I think I saw like 2 movies this past year. I think I saw The Hobbit and Bad Grandpa, which is pretty opposite, but they're both equally pretty good. If you'd ask me, I think that's my top 2 of the year, I guess, because those are the only 2 I saw in the theater.
I spent my year on Netflix, and none of them came out in 2013. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's wrong with the classics, though. I mean, I'm slowly building my Quentin Tarantino collection, like out of the $5 movie bin at Walmart. So
we got to start somewhere.
That's what I'm into.
Oh, and Eddie, where was Gravity, huh? Gravity's up for all these 12 years
12
of
years
slave?
a slave.
What are you doing?
American Hustle? Movies I've never seen, but I know they're good because they keep talking about them.
Yeah. So it all goes back to the Golden Globes?
I guess so.
That's what's coming up, right? Yeah.
The Oscars. No, Golden Globes already happened.
Oscars.
That was like last week. It's the Oscars with the Academy. That's where everybody
whirlwind.
thanks the Academy. But we'll watch that, and then we'll tell you about it on Trending Now.
Well, coming up after the break then, Leo Fleischl will be behind the Trending Now social media desk for the first time, giving you a look back on 2013 in hashtags. But first, if you were making a new show, what would you want to see on the screen?
On that, maybe movies, you know, since it is probably TV, so you maybe, I don't know, have like a weekly movie thing you could probably do.
We like Abby Lee's dance company, like her shows, so maybe like a competition of some sort, or comedy.
Something about like a talent competition, like even if it's singing or just any kind of talent.
Probably something that stands out instead of the regular reality shows. Something that's like meaningful instead of just people in everyday life.
G Morning Sunshine. Wakey wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
I'm starving. What's for breakfast?
Guten Tag!
Johannes, Franz!
I bring you arts-enriched Raisinblums, fortified with increased test scores and creative problem-solving skills.
It's good!
And good for you. Bobby? Susie? Don't worry, that's just the power of the art!
Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
You ever think about buying a bigger place? Just waiting for a visit from the credit fairy. There is no credit fairy. How else will I get a better credit score? Look, you keep your credit card balances low and only open a new card if you really need it. No fairy?
There's no magic to improving your credit, but there's help, and it's free. Go to creditfairy.org.
Yes, ready.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
Everyone, welcome to the first ever segment of What's Trending on Trending Now. In this segment, I'll be updating you on what has been trending in the social media world over the past week. You see, it's easy to get a glimpse into an area, whether it be our entire country, Pittsburgh, or even our campus here at Robert Morris University. What is trending on social media is what the users have deemed to be important. For the first time, the public has the ability to draw attention to the people. events, sports, and more by using a simple # before their phrase called a hashtag. They've been seen most popularly on Twitter and Instagram, but just days ago, Facebook joined the trend train with the new trends section on their newsfeed. The list will be created personally for each user based on their likes, what their friends like, and of course, relevance. The goal of the new section is to highlight interesting and relevant conversations for users to take their Facebook experience even further. This is in fact in direct competition with Twitter. This increases Facebook's clout as a news gathering site and furthers the convenience for users. Not only does Facebook tell you what is trending, it also gives you a brief description of why. For now, I'm going to focus on the traditional social media sites that use hashtags because Facebook's is such a new feature to navigate. We're going to begin with a look back on 2013 through the top 10 on Twitter in multiple categories. So here we go. Events were pretty self-explanatory, with the most wonderful time of the year coming in on top. Things like Movember thrive on social media, however, to not only create awareness, but allow people to have fun by posting pictures of the mustaches they were able to grow in support of men's health causes around the world. Of course, we get to see some cultural diversity in these holidays and events as well because it is global with Ramadan and Eid Mubarak. If you want a snapshot of international news in 2013 as determined by the people, look no further than this list. Syria was the talk of the world last year, along with hashtag Pray for Boston during the tragic Boston Marathon bombing. Many people remembered September 11th through social media, a great way for people to get together and kind of create forum on that, as well as talking about Pope Francis. Justin Bieber's active year gave him the top amount of mentions in the people category on Twitter, beating out Angelina Jolie and once again Pope Francis. Justin Bieber and his crazy antics. Sports fans are also known to be avid tweeters, and highlights of this include the Ashes cricket tournament coming in on top. Who knew cricket was that relevant? The Open, the World Series, winning Boston Red Sox, and of course the Super Bowl. Looks like the list of sports was pretty well rounded last year. And the pop music scene seems to have dominated the trends of music with Ariana Grande, Selena Gomez, One Direction, and not surprised to see them at the top actually with their huge teenage demographic, Nicki Minaj and more. Now that's going to close out my general recap of 2013, so let's bring it up to the present and actually go on Twitter today. Throughout the day, the main phrases I've been seeing are Bob McDonnell and Purdue. Former Virginia Governor McDonnell was indicted today over accepting gifts, and one person was shot dead at Purdue University tragically today. That's all I have for today. Be sure to tune in next time to see what's popular on the web and to learn about proper hashtag and Twitter etiquette. Now here's Haley and Kendall to help me wrap up the show. Oh, here they come.
Sorry, little Laylee. We're here.
We're just going to wrap up our very first Trending Now. I know this has been a dream for you guys for a long time, and I'm super excited to have been a part of it, so glad
we're happy to have you. Yeah. And we hope that after watching this first episode of Trending Now ever, you've had your fill of quality television, or we at least kept you from changing the channel. Either way, it's been real.
And make sure you tune in next Tuesday, same time, same channel.